Welcome to Immortals Imaging. Gonna do this video on CameraRaw, pretty much the basics here. So I don't really use Lightroom a lot. I use CameraRaw, and I'm gonna show you just this basics bar here today. So pretty much we have this raw image, and this is the screen that it comes on. And I'll start with here. Start right off with first of all, I'm going to explain to you guys how I learned. I'm not going to really wiki all the technical terms of everything, because I like being taught things, how they apply in every day, and not from reading it out of a book that makes no sense to me. So pretty much white balance, start here. As shot means just as it is, as shot. Auto, it'll tell you, it'll give you the setting to how CameraRaw thinks it should be. As you can see, between as shot and auto, it brought a little bit more warmth to the photo. Daylight, it'll change it to what the program thinks would be like a daylight feature setting. Cloudy, it'll be sunny but a little bit hazy, cloudy day. So as you can see, it's a little bit warmer there. Shade, it'll be a sunny day, but in the shade, so you can see it's still pretty much warmer than that. Tungsten, it's a different light that emits like a bluish light, and that'll make the photo cooler, more blue. Fluorescent, it'll have like a fluorescent light to it, so it'll be a little bit less cooler than the tungsten. Flash would be if you took a photo with flash on. And then we have custom, which you could change these however you want. I'll put it back to as shot. Now the temperature, we have the blue, which represents cool, I think winter, cool, moody. And then we have yellow, which will represent sunshine and warmth. So you could take this and go down. It'll bring more of a cooler indoor, it's wintry feel to it. Bring it up, and it'll have more of a nice sunny day to the photo. The tint will change the hue of the whole picture, which means it'll change the color to either green or purple. So if we start going down, it'll start highlighting more of the green and give it more of a greenish tint to it. We go up, it'll do the same, but with purple here. Okay. Now exposure, that's just how much sun and light is left put into the photo. So we could turn this down, the photo gets darker. Turn it up, it gets lighter. The contrast, my way of explaining contrast is pretty much what makes the photo pop. You turn it down, it's going to start to look flat, like it doesn't have a lot of definition to it. It all kind of just looks even. If we start turning it up a little more, it'll highlight the areas of the photo and make it stand out a little bit more. To bring a contrast to it, to make it come to life, so to speak. Turn it back here. Highlights, what this does, it takes the image of the lighter parts of the image. Like as you can see here, this is a light spot around her shoulders in this area here. They're all lighter spots. So if we turn this up, it'll bring more emphasis to those parts of the photo. Alternatively, we could turn it down and it takes that off. I like to call that like the shine or the glow of it, pretty much. Shadows, it does the same thing as the highlights, but it emphasizes more on the darker areas of the photo. So like around here, right here, like this area here where it's a little bit shadowy, these areas here, we can start seeing that it'll darken it a lot more. Alternatively, we could turn it up and it'll bring more light to those areas that are quote unquote in the shadows. The whites, pretty much this will highlight where the sun or where your main lighting source is coming from, and it'll bring more emphasis to that. So if we turned it up, we could see that the light seems to be coming from this direction here, so it'll bring more light to the photo from that direction as a whole. We turn it down, and it'll take the light out of it and not give it as much light in those emphasis where the direct light is coming from. Alternatively, the blacks, it'll do the opposite as the white. So if we turn this down, it'll bring more dark to the areas of the photo that have more dark to it. Turn it up, it'll bring more light to those. Okay. Clarity, I like to use this as another way for sharpen. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see. I'll give you a demonstration here. So pretty much, as you can see, like on her forehead here, we have these pores. So clarity, what that's going to do, if you turn it down, it'll pretty much add like a Gaussian blur to it. And we could start to see that it softens the image a lot more and adds a little bit of a blur. And then, you know, you start seeing these pores disappear. I'll go back to no clarity, and there they are again. Alternatively, if you turn it up, it'll bring more of a contrast to the photo as a whole, and it'll really make it'll make it stand out a lot more. See, I'll do it once more, but have it all the way zoomed out. So we turn the clarity down, it has more of a blur to it, because it's how sharp the image is going to be. Turn it up, and it's a lot sharper, and you can see more definition. The vibrance is how much color is allowed in the photo here. So if we turn it down, it doesn't take all the color out of the photo. As you can see, she still has a little bit of red in her lips and the brown in the eyes. We turn this down, and it takes most of the color out. It's how vibrant or how much color is allowed in the photo for the most part. We turn this up, and it'll put more color into the photo here. Saturation is kind of like vibrance, but it's to the extreme, so it'll either take all the color out or put as much color in the photo to the most extreme that it can. Okay, so this is the basics pretty much. And I know a lot of people might open up CameraRaw and look at all these bells and whistles and think like, oh dang, you know, it's a lot and it's kind of intimidating, but it's really fun once you start getting the hang of it and learning how to make all these different combinations for photos. That's one of the reasons why I use this over Lightroom, because you could really get in there and define a lot more aspects of your photo than you would like to. So this will be the first of the series of CameraRaw, where we go over this first thing here, the basics. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I will answer them for you. And the next video we'll start going over what all these do, as well as all these other ones here. So you guys have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video.